if another player is in a bar fight or another player hits his girlfriend, I mean, why would you think it's not going to happen to your guys? It can happen.
It's an issue that I think all of us have a responsibility to think about as to how our student athletes not only deal with issues on the field, but deal with issues off the field. We try to teach our kids how to cope athletically, how to cope academically, and now it's time for us to help them cope emotionally with issues.
It comes down to choices. How do we encourage them to make the proper choices? Because we won't be there. We won't be there when a situation arises. We only hope that we can equip them with the ability to make educated choices.
Every year, millions of girls and women are verbally, physically, sexually, and emotionally abused by men in this country. They are our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, our wives, and our friends. It's time we all did something to stop men's violence against women. The Mentors in Violence Prevention Program, MVP, empowers athletes to confront this problem with teammates and friends.
MVP is a leadership program that focuses on gender violence prevention and education. And at its core, what we're trying to do is empower people with options to deal with difficult, abusive situations involving friends or teammates. And what we try to do is challenge young people to be leaders, to have the guts and courage to stand up in a situation that may not make them popular, but it certainly is going to make them right.
To raise awareness about issues that's not popular, about issues where no one wants to talk about, such as men's violence against women. It is a big problem in our country, but no one wants to talk about it, so we go out there and do it.
If either side is putting their hands on somebody in anger, that's not healthy, I would imagine, right? That's just not a healthy relationship.
This game is a hard game. It's a hard game to play well. It's a hard game to play well at the highest levels. And it's even harder when there are distractions off the field. And so the MVP program is designed to give players some tools to handle situations that they may come into off the field and ultimately to allow their focus to be on the field.
Since 1993, MVP has worked with male and female student athletes at over 130 colleges and universities, including a first-of-its-kind conference-wide partnership with the SEC beginning in 2005-2006. MVP has also developed partnerships with professional teams and leagues, such as the New England Patriots, Boston Red Sox, New York Jets, Toronto Blue Jays, and Major League Lacrosse. MVP is the first system-wide gender violence prevention and education program in the U.S. Marine Corps. MVP has worked with over 100 high schools throughout New England. In all of these training partnerships, MVP trainers provide concrete skills for prevention and intervention in difficult social situations involving friends and teammates.
I hope that that's something that shows up in the entire league as being one of the good answers that we have for some of the misbehaviors of people on our different teams.
I want our players to try to recognize bad situations before they become bad situations and get out of them. It's the same thing you would do as a parent if you just had your son at home.
The ultimate goal is to educate these guys or help these guys become good people, good husbands, good fathers, good citizens.
It's better to educate your kids and try and get them to talk about it, and try and get it out, the issues on the table, and maybe solve the problems before you do have problems.
You guys are leaders, from what I understand. You get nothing but green and white out there. You guys lead in sacks, lead in passes, lead in what? What else? Field goals, whatever. Everybody has a specialty that they lead in. That's why you guys are here. So you guys are leaders automatically. Whether you want this responsibility or not, it's yours.
What we're going to do is take them through what we call awareness-raising sessions, which will do just that. It will raise their awareness about these issues, challenge some assumptions about the issues that we'll talk about, but also empower people with concrete skills to confront abusive teammates and friends. Where do we get the message that alcohol and sex do not mix? Where do we get that message?
A lot of times, you see in society, like athletes have a tendency to degrade women. I thought this was a way to, bring awareness to that.
This one maybe shake it up a little bit more. In some situations, it is okay for a man to hit a woman.
My father always used to hate me and stuff. Like, I used to watch him hit my sister. Yeah. And personally, I told myself I'll never hit a female and stuff. So it's personal to me.
What we try to do is, as opposed to talking at them about what they should do, is talk with them. So it's an interactive dialogue, which makes the program relatively unique, certainly not a lecture. And what we try to do is talk with them about different scenarios. You have to exhaust all of their options. That includes running away, getting out of that situation.
So what is running away gonna do is not gonna solve anything. I know hitting the girl may not solve anything, it may not. But running away, I mean, what's that gonna do? I'm not saying.
Yeah. You out of the situation.
The way that MVP engages the players on this topic, as opposed to lecture on this topic, I think is very important, and breeds an environment that players are more receptive to.
Could you raise your hand if you have in your life a sister, daughter, mother, girlfriend, auntie, grandmother, basically a female in your life that you care about? Could you raise your hand? Well, why would we ask that question?
That's how we look at the bystander approach, which is it's not about you being a perpetrator or you being a victim. It's about you changing the whole situation, using who you are to change the situation.
It's not the easy thing to do. It's not the popular thing to do a lot of times. But what we always ask people to consider is it the right thing to do? We're not talking like the Superman, John Wayne, Rambo version of a bystander. It's okay, what are some thinking ways that I can deal with the situation that isn't going to get anybody hurt?
I have them personalize the situation, which is a close your eyes exercise. Whatever female in your life that's cared about the most, think about this person right now. Now imagine she's on the stairs, going upstairs, or she's in the club, or just walking down some street, and a person came, start calling her all type of names, all type of disrespectful names, all type of verbal abuse. The next, that person decided to put hands on her, physically assaulting her, pushing her, kicking her, biting her. Now this person takes it a step further, decide to sexually assault her, touching her places she don't need to be touched, taking her places, forcing her to do things she doesn't want to do. Now imagine a third person who sees all this happening, just look and does nothing at all. After you finish it, you can tell the wheels are turning. That shows me that they're thinking about it. If you're thinking about it, you can do it.
Your heart is torn apart and you don't have nothing to live for, that's ruined my life. I'll probably do something that I might regret.
In fact, he could have stopped everything, but didn't. He's almost as much to blame as the person doing it.
A lot of people don't take these type of situations serious until it hits home. And when it hits home, that's when it hits the hardest. So, I mean, if it was somebody else's mother, sister, daughter, she'd always try to help.
It was this lady and her 2 kids. After a while, he just started, physically abusing her. But like, what should I have done in that situation? Should I have stepped in?
Like, I was in the same situation back in high school, but then the next day she was back with the dude.
What do y'all think? What could you do in that situation?